Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Um,
Yeah.
I
Hello.
can
Hi.
hear
Yes,
yes.
thanks.
Hi. Hello. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Good noon. Good day. Good evening. Depends on where you are. So welcome to the second SIGEnergy weekend workshop. Um, okay. And my name is Minghua Chen, and I'm one of the organizer. And so let me try to get the like the workshop opening started. So this is the second weekend workshop. So looking back, I would like to retrospect what happened last year. Last year, Prashant, Kishev, and I, we were discussing maybe it's a good timing to start to have a workshop to discuss the issues related to climate change because it's a big problem faced by or the community. And we think is the problem is too big to be owned by any domain. So identify maybe it's a good idea to focus on the intersection between three community, which is the society and also sustainability and also the climate change, because the sustainability sometimes refer to IT and energy efficient systems, but climate change sometimes beyond that could involve biology and agriculture, etc. So we think it's a good idea to look at this problem at the intersection of these three domains. So that's where we established this workshop. And the first workshop is actually half day. You see the speaker, David, George, and Jay gave three wonderful talks. They are what happened last year. And this year, we both expand in terms of the number of talks and the duration of the workshop, as well as we bring in new blood into the workshop organization. And so there's Noman and myself, Prashant and Junyan. Noman was from UMass. You probably receive many emails from him. And Prashant is give a lot of good suggestion, etc. And Junyan will be supporting the Zoom session today. And at this point, I would like to, especially thank Noman for putting up all this together. I know our workshop called WeCan'. That means altogether we hopefully can address the climate change issue. But when I'm looking back, at some point I look at the amount of work we need to do to pull out this full day workshop, scale from the last year's half day workshop. I think perhaps no man can do this. But luckily, indeed, within I think 2 weeks, actually, no man approached us saying he's excited about this workshop and want to participate and help to organize. We said, okay, so here we go. We indeed have Noman to help us to pull all these things together. I think all the credit goes to Noman. Noman, thank you very much. And at this point, I will pass Noman the token to Noman so he can introduce you the full day workshop we have this year, including 13 talks instead of 3 talks last year. Okay, so Noman.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you, Minghua, for the kind words. And as we can go to the next slide. So as Minghua pointed out that this workshop was supposed to be and is supposed to be on an intersection of society, climate, and sustainability. And we wanted to cover all of these different aspects because generally as a computer scientist, we are more focused on the technical side of things and like sometimes forget how these things are applied in real world and what is the perspective from, like, say, someone from who has worked in a city hall or who is, let's say, from a developing country and the burnt of like climate change is being experienced very differently over there rather than in a more developed country like US. So of the talks that we have this year. So as you can see, like it's mainly like the big topics are energy and sustainability and climate and like challenges. But if you like look a little bit deeper, you would see that the talks are about a lot of other things. Like they talk about promising ways or promising pathways into the future. They talk about like how common people are facing these problems, how is like what is a responsible way of achieving a sustainable future, and like accountability, monitoring, society, and I can go on. Like, but you get a full picture of how just like across 12 talks we have such a diverse set of topics. And you will also see that in like our speakers that are participating from I think 4 or 5 different time zones, and they belong to different like some of them are in Asia, and then we have speakers from Europe and US, and they have very different experience in the world, and I think that shows in like these talks. So can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So I will briefly go through like what our workshop looks like. So this is the opening address, and then we have like one session on computing for sustainability, and then sustainable energy systems and data analytics for sustainability. I would not go into like too many details of like talks in each session, as we will see those talks as each session comes by. And can we go to the next slide? Yeah, so session 4 would be on sustainable computing. And finally, the 5th session that I like really like is basically on leadership and communication. So we talk about all of these different technical details and different solutions that can solve the climate change, but it's often very difficult to communicate these messages to a common audience. And also often like it's hard to get these things adopted through legislature and through this like political or legislation stream. So the 2 talks in this section exactly target that. So one of that talks about how a city hall would view all of these efforts, and the other one is basically how to communicate these things with the common general public. And finally, we will end the workshop with a brainstorming session with audience to like where we would invite feedback on what we can do better next year. And also if they liked any particular uh, talk a little bit more, and if they want to discuss, we have Minghua Chen and David Irwin as the panelists. So you are you are advised to like ask question about anything related to society, climate, and sustainability. So with that, I would like to hand over back to Minghua to introduce our first speaker of the first session, which is Shiv Kumar.